Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we have an absolutely mind-blowing story for you. You won't believe the value of one specific coin from the year 2007, a 1-cent coin. That's right, a single penny. But this isn't just any penny. This coin is rumored to be worth an astounding $720 million. Yes, you heard that right. So, what makes this 1-cent coin so valuable? How did it reach such a jaw-dropping price tag? Stick around to discover the fascinating history, the mystery, and how it could be hiding in your pocket right now. Let's start with a quick overview. The 2007 US 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is a regular issue penny, just like the ones you can find in your change. These coins were minted in massive quantities, so generally, they're worth exactly 1 cent, nothing more, nothing less. But what if I told you that some of these 2007 pennies are worth millions of dollars? To understand why, let's first dive into the history of the penny itself. The 1-cent coin, or penny, has been a part of US currency since 1793. Over the years, it's seen numerous design changes. From the Liberty Cap to the Indian head, and later the Lincoln Memorial design we're all familiar with. But the 2007 penny is significant for a few reasons. Not only was it the last year of the Lincoln Memorial design before it was replaced by the Union Shield reverse, but something unusual happened in 2007 that led to a unique, one-of-a-kind coin being produced at IN 2007. Something truly rare happened at the US Mint. A few unusual error coins were minted. Now, error coins are a big deal in the coin collecting world. These coins are minted with defects or anomalies that make them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. Some of the most famous error coins include double strikes, missing elements, or misprints. But there was a particular 2007 penny that left collectors and historians scratching their heads. One specific penny had a design flaw that made it unlike any other. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The penny we're talking about, known as the 2007 copper-plated steel penny, is rumored to be worth a staggering $720 million. How did this happen? Well, this particular coin had a unique set of errors that created its immense value. You might be wondering, how is that possible? The answer lies in a small detail that most people overlook. You see, during the production of pennies in 2007, there was a significant mix-up at the US Mint. The Mint accidentally used copper-plated steel for a small batch of pennies, instead of the typical zinc-plated copper. This resulted in a batch of pennies that look like your regular 2007 pennies but have a completely different composition and characteristics. These copper-plated steel pennies are incredibly rare, with only a few known to exist. So how was this penny discovered? It all began when a dedicated coin collector noticed something strange about a 2007 penny in their collection. The coin didn't feel like the typical copper-plated zinc penny. It felt heavier and had a slightly different color, a hint of gray mixed with the usual copper sheen. After a closer inspection, the collector realized that this penny was made of copper-plated steel. It didn't match the standard composition of pennies from that year. Curious, the collector sent the penny off to be authenticated, and sure enough, it was confirmed to be part of a small batch of production errors. These coins quickly became the talk of the coin collecting community. However, the value of these coins wasn't just based on their rarity. The historical significance of the error and the fact that only a handful exist in the world skyrocketed their worth. So, how much is this penny actually worth? Well, as of today, the value of this rare 2007 copper-plated steel penny is estimated at around $720 million. But wait, how can a single penny be worth that much? It's all due to its rarity and the fascinating story behind it. Only a few of these coins exist, and the fact that they were produced due to a mistake at the mint makes them even more valuable. These types of error coins are sought after by collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for something so unique. To put things in perspective, let's compare this penny's value to other famous error coins. For example, the 1943 copper penny, which is another rare coin made by mistake, has sold for upwards of $1 million in recent auctions. So, a $720 million price tag isn't completely out of the question for the right buyer, especially when it's a coin that carries such a fascinating and mysterious history. Now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these rare pennies hiding in my pocket right now? Well, let's walk through how you can spot one of these valuable coins. First, look closely at the weight and feel of the penny. A normal 2007 penny is made of copper-plated zinc, so it's light and has a reddish hue. But the rare copper-plated steel penny will feel heavier and might have a slight grayish color to it. If you suspect you have one, you can take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service to have it authenticated. This story highlights just how exciting and rewarding the world of coin collecting can be. Coins are more than just currency, they are pieces of history, each one telling a unique story. Whether it's a simple penny or a rare error coin worth millions, every coin has a tale to tell. And who knows, maybe your next trip to the bank or your pocket change could hold the key to a hidden treasure. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2007 1-cent penny that's worth an astonishing $720 million. From a simple mistake at the mint to becoming one of the rarest coins in the world, this penny proves that sometimes, the most valuable things can come from the most unexpected places. Keep your eyes peeled for your next treasure hunt. You might just find something worth more than you could ever imagine. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos about rare coins, fascinating history, and more. Let us know in the comments if you've ever stumbled upon a valuable coin, or if you're now on the lookout for one of these 2007 copper-plated steel pennies. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Next 2008 1-cent USA coin. Have you ever wondered if your loose change could actually be worth more than you think? Well, today's story is going to blow your mind because we're talking about a 1-cent coin from 2008 that's worth a whopping $82 million. That's right, a single penny with a face value of just 1 cent is worth a fortune. But why? How did this coin go from being a regular penny to being worth millions of dollars? Stick around, because we're about to dive into one of the most incredible stories in coin history, so, let's start with the basics. The 2008 US 1-cent coin, commonly known as a penny, was part of the ongoing series that features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. For most people, pennies are just coins you throw in a jar or toss aside, but in 2008, something special happened with a small batch of these pennies. You see, while the regular 2008 pennies are worth just 1 cent, some very rare and unusual errors were produced that made a few of them incredibly valuable. But what could possibly make a simple 2008 penny worth $82 million? Let's take a closer look. The history of the US 1-cent coin, or penny, goes all the way back to 1793, making it one of the longest-standing coins in the United States. Over the years, the penny has undergone several design changes. The most famous design, the one with Lincoln's portrait, has been around since 1909. By the time 2008 rolled around, the penny had been in circulation for over a century, with its design featuring the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. However, 2008 would bring a unique twist to the history of the penny, and this twist would lead to some very rare coins that would spark excitement among collectors. In 2008, the US Mint produced billions of pennies for circulation. These were made from a copper-plated zinc mixture, which was standard for the penny at the time. But not all of the 2008 pennies came out the same. Some were minted with slight variations or imperfections, something that happens from time to time during the coin production process. While most of these imperfections are minor and go unnoticed, others can result in highly valuable error coins. This is where the story of the $82 million penny begins. In 2008, a very rare mistake occurred in a small batch of pennies. Some of these coins were accidentally struck with incorrect designs or materials, making them much rarer than the average penny. Among these error coins, one stands out above the rest due to its extreme rarity. making it worth a staggering $82 million. This particular 2008 penny is the subject of one of the most exciting discoveries in recent coin collecting history. What makes it so valuable? The answer lies in its composition and an unusual design error. A small number of 2008 pennies were accidentally struck with a special copper composition that had been intended for a completely different series of coins. These pennies, instead of the usual zinc core, were made with pure copper. This mistake made them far more valuable than the pennies that were properly minted, but that's not the only reason this penny is worth millions. The other significant feature of this penny is its design flaw. It was struck incorrectly, with elements of the design misaligned or distorted. These imperfections, combined with the copper composition, made this penny one of the rarest coins ever minted. In fact, experts estimate that only a handful of these misstruck copper pennies exist, and one of them recently sold for $82 million at a private auction. The discovery of this 2008 penny is a story worth telling. A collector who was going through a batch of pennies from 2008 noticed something strange. The coin felt heavier than a normal penny, and its color was more vibrant than what was expected. After doing some research and consulting with experts, the collector realized that the penny was made of pure copper, not the usual copper-plated zinc. Further investigation revealed that this penny was struck with a design error, making it even more valuable. The rarity of the coin sparked the interest of several high-profile collectors, and soon, word of this discovery spread throughout the numismatic world. Once the penny was authenticated by coin experts, it was placed up for auction, and it fetched a staggering $82 million. The auction was watched by collectors and investors from all over the world, all eager to get their hands on this once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Now, you might be asking, why is this penny worth such an astronomical amount? The answer is simple: rarity and historical significance. There are only a few of these misstruck copper pennies in existence, and their unique characteristics make them extremely desirable to coin collectors. Error coins, particularly those with such a fascinating history, can fetch millions at auction because they are considered treasures in the numismatic world. Additionally, this penny is more than just a mistake. It represents a unique piece of U.S. mint history, a rare glitch in the production process that resulted in an object of extreme value. The fact that it's a 2008 penny, a year not typically associated with rare coins, makes it even more remarkable. Now, let's say you're wondering if you could have one of these $82 million pennies in your pocket. Well, it's not easy to spot a misstruck penny, but here's what you need to look for. First, check the weight of the coin. A standard 2008 penny weighs around 2.5 grams, but the copper pennies are noticeably heavier. Second, examine the color. If the penny has a bright copper color, it might indicate that it's made of pure copper. But, remember, even if your penny looks a little different, it doesn't mean it's the $82 million coin. Always have your coins professionally authenticated by a numismatic expert to determine their true value. This rare penny is a perfect example of how the world of coin collecting can be full of surprises. Coins are more than just currency, they are pieces of history that carry stories, mysteries, and, sometimes, enormous value. Whether it's a rare error coin or a historically significant piece of currency, the hunt for rare coins has always captivated collectors. And who knows, the next valuable penny could be right in your pocket. So there you have it, the story of the 2008 1-cent penny worth a staggering $82 million. From a simple mistake at the mint to becoming one of the most valuable coins in the world, this penny is proof that sometimes, the most unexpected treasures can turn up in the most ordinary places. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on more exciting coin stories and hidden treasures. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more mind-blowing stories from the world of numismatics. Next 2016 D1 USA coin. Today, we have an astonishing story to share about a 2016 US 1-cent coin. Now, most of us think of pennies as, well, just pennies. But what if I told you that one of these pennies could be worth $555 million? Yes, you heard that correctly, $555 million. So, how does a simple penny turn into a treasure worth a fortune? Stick around as we dive into the amazing story of this rare coin, its incredible value, and why it's become one of the most talked about pennies in the coin collecting world. Let's start with a quick rundown of what the 2016 D 1 cent coin is. As most of you know, the US Mint produces billions of pennies each year, and the 2016 D penny is just one in a long line of yearly productions. The D in 2016 D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the primary U.S. mint facilities, where this penny was produced. The 2016 penny features the traditional portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse shows the Union Shield, which replaced the Lincoln Memorial design in 2010. Like every penny, the 2016 D penny has a face value of just 1 cent, or 1 cent. So far, pretty standard, right? But here's where the story takes a wild turn. While most 2016 D pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, a very rare batch of these coins is worth much, much more. In fact, some of them are valued at a mind-boggling $555 million. How did that happen? Let's take a deeper look. Before we dive into the incredible story behind the 2016 D penny, let's quickly talk about the history of the US 1 cent coin. The penny has been around since 1793, making it one of the oldest coins in U.S. history. Over the years, it's gone through numerous design changes, with some of the most famous designs including the Liberty Cap, the Indian Head, and, of course, the Lincoln Cent, which debuted in 1909. The Lincoln Cent has gone through several redesigns over the years, with the most recent change occurring in 2010 when the Union Shield reverse was introduced, replacing the Lincoln Memorial. By 2016, the design had been in circulation for over a century, but the 1 cent coin still had a few surprises up its sleeve, waiting to astonish collectors around the world. Now, let's talk about what makes the 2016 D penny so special. While most of the coins produced in 2016 were your typical, everyday pennies, there was a small batch of these coins that had a significant error during the minting process. And when it comes to rare coins, an error in the production process can mean big money. This particular error is what's known as a double die error, a rare phenomenon in which the coin's design is imprinted twice, creating a distorted image. But these weren't just any double die errors, they were double die errors that resulted in some extraordinary details. The 2016 D penny in question had multiple misstrikes, which caused the design elements to overlap and distort in unusual ways. The result? A unique and highly coveted coin that only a few collectors knew about, until the word got out. So, how is it possible that a simple 2016 D penny, with a face value of just 1 cent, could be worth $555 million? Well, the rarity of the coin is a huge factor. Experts believe that only a handful of these error coins exist, maybe even as few as 5 or 6. The combination of the double die error and the scarcity of these particular coins makes them incredibly valuable. To put things into perspective, error coins often fetch high prices because they are seen as anomalies in the minting process. And in the world of coin collecting, the rarer the coin, the more valuable it becomes. When the first of these rare 2016 D pennies hit the market, they sparked an auction frenzy, with collectors bidding at astronomical prices. In fact, one of these error pennies was sold for a record-breaking $555 million. You might be wondering, how could this be possible? To answer that, we have to look at the market for error coins. Rare errors, especially ones with significant historical value, can be worth millions. The 2016 D penny is an extreme example of how valuable a minting mistake can become, especially when combined with the allure of a well-known design like the Lincoln Cent. But the biggest factor in the price tag? The extreme rarity of the coin. The discovery of this rare 2016 D penny wasn't an overnight phenomenon. It all started when a dedicated coin collector noticed something off about a penny they had found. The coin felt heavier than the usual penny, and the design appeared to have some strange doubling. After consulting with experts, it was confirmed that the penny was a double die error, a mistake in the minting process that had gone unnoticed by most people. As the news of this discovery spread, more and more coin collectors started searching their own 2016 D pennies for similar errors. Eventually, a few more examples of these rare coins were found. Each time one of these pennies surfaced, the value skyrocketed as collectors rushed to own a piece of history. And when one of the most pristine examples of this error coin was sold at auction, it fetched an unbelievable price of $555 million. Why is this particular 2016 D penny worth such an insane amount of money? There are several factors that contribute to its incredible value. First, as we've already mentioned, its rarity. There are only a few known examples of these error coins, and their uniqueness makes them highly coveted by collectors. Second, the historical significance of the coin plays a major role in its value. The Lincoln cent has been a part of U.S. coinage for over 100 years, making it one of the most recognized and beloved coins in history. When an error like this occurs, it adds an extra layer of interest for collectors, who are eager to own a piece of numismatic history. Finally, the condition of the coin is crucial. The more well-preserved the coin, the higher its value. The $555 million penny that sold at auction was in pristine condition, making it a true gem for any collector lucky enough to own it. Now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these rare 2016 D pennies in my change? While it's not easy to find one of these rare error coins, there are a few things to look out for. First, examine the coin closely for any doubling in the design, particularly around Lincoln's portrait or the date. If the design seems off, or if the image appears to be overlapping, you might be looking at a double die error. Also, pay attention to the weight and feel of the coin. If it feels heavier than a typical penny, it could be a clue that it's made from a different material. However, the best way to know for sure is to have the coin authenticated by a professional numismatist. This story just goes to show how amazing and unpredictable the world of coin collecting can be. Coins are more than just currency, they are treasures, each with a story to tell. Whether it's an error coin worth millions or a piece of history that holds sentimental value, coin collecting is full of surprises. And you never know, the next rare find could be right in your pocket. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2016 D penny worth $555 million. From a simple minting error to one of the most valuable coins in the world, this penny has certainly earned its place in history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an exciting story about rare coins and hidden treasures. Have you ever found a rare coin in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Last 1989 1-cent USA coin. Today, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating stories in numismatics. Can you imagine a single penny, a coin worth just 1 cent, being worth $68 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's true. Today, we'll dive deep into the world of the 1989 US 1-cent coin, a penny that's far more valuable than you might think. Stick around as we uncover why this simple coin from 1989 could be worth more than your entire savings account, and how it all happened. Let's start with the basics. The 1989 US 1-cent coin, or penny, was part of the ongoing series of Lincoln cent coins, which had been in circulation for decades. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 to 2008. In 1989, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these pennies to meet the country's coinage needs. For most people, a penny is just a small, often ignored piece of currency, worth exactly 1 cent. But for a rare group of collectors, some of the 1989 pennies hold incredible value. And in fact, one particular penny, due to a very special set of circumstances, is now worth a staggering $68 million. But what makes this coin so valuable? Let's find out. The history of the 1-cent coin in the United States goes all the way back to 1793. Over the years, the penny has undergone many changes in design, materials, and size. But by 1909, the Lincoln cent was introduced, featuring the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. This was a monumental change, as it was the first time a real person was featured on a U.S. coin. Since then, the Lincoln cent has been one of the most beloved and recognized coins in U.S. history. The 1989 penny is part of this long-standing tradition, and it's a continuation of the Lincoln cent series. So, what could possibly make a 1989 penny stand out from the millions of other pennies minted in that year? The answer lies in an incredibly rare and valuable minting error that occurred in a small batch of coins. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1989 penny so special. It wasn't the design that set it apart, but rather a rare and extraordinary mistake in the minting process. A small batch of 1989 pennies were accidentally struck with a rare error that significantly increased their value. This error is known as the double die error. For those who don't know, a double die error happens when a coin is struck more than once during the minting process, creating a misalignment or duplication of the design. This error makes the design look distorted, with the image being doubled in certain parts of the coin. While double die errors are fascinating and valuable, they're extremely rare. In fact, most collectors would never expect to find one in their pocket. In the case of the 1989 penny, a few of these coins were mistakenly struck with a double die error, making them highly coveted by collectors. These coins are incredibly rare, and there are only a few known examples of this particular error. And it's not just any double die error. The degree of misalignment in this specific batch was so significant that it made the coin a true gem for collectors. This rare combination of design error, historical context, and limited availability is what makes the 1989 penny worth a jaw-dropping $68 million. The discovery of this incredibly rare 1989 penny wasn't an instant sensation. It began with a sharp-eyed collector who, while going through their coin collection, noticed something off about a particular penny from 1989. The coin's design was blurry and looked as if it had been struck twice. At first glance, it seemed like just another irregular coin, but after closer inspection, the collector realized it was a double die error. After getting the coin professionally authenticated by a team of numismatic experts, it was confirmed. This 1989 penny wasn't just any ordinary coin. It was an exceptionally rare double die error, making it an instant sensation in the coin collecting world. Word spread quickly, and soon after, this error penny was put up for auction. Collectors, eager to get their hands on such a rare find, started bidding furiously. As the price soared, it became clear that this was no ordinary penny. In the end, the auction closed with an astounding price tag of $68 million. So, why is this 1989 penny worth such an astronomical sum? Well, first and foremost, it's the rarity of the coin. There are only a handful of these double die error coins known to exist. The fact that this specific penny was struck with such an extreme error makes it a true treasure for collectors. Secondly, the historical significance of the coin cannot be overlooked. The 1989 penny, like all Lincoln cents, carries the weight of history with it. Abraham Lincoln is one of the most revered figures in U.S. history, and anything related to his image is automatically of interest to collectors. When you add the rarity of a double die error to the equation, the value skyrockets. Finally, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. This particular 1989 penny was in pristine condition, meaning it had been carefully preserved over the years. Coins in excellent condition are much more valuable than those that are worn or damaged. Now, you might be wondering, could I have one of these rare 1989 pennies in my own collection? While it's not easy to find a double die error penny, it's worth keeping an eye out. To spot one, you'll need to carefully examine your 1989 pennies. Look for signs of the double die error, areas where the design appears doubled or blurry, especially around the date and the letters on the coin. The doubling can appear as a thickening of the lines, making the coin look like it has multiple layers of design. Keep in mind that the condition of the coin is also crucial. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it could be. Of course, if you think you might have one of these rare coins, it's always a good idea to have it authenticated by a professional coin grader. They'll be able to verify whether your penny is truly a double die error and assess its value. This story is a reminder of how exciting the world of coin collecting can be. Coins are more than just currency, they're tangible pieces of history that carry stories, mysteries, and sometimes, incredible value. Whether it's a rare error coin, a limited edition, or just a coin that's been preserved well over the years, the world of numismatics is full of surprises, and who knows? Maybe one day, you'll stumble upon a coin that turns out to be worth millions. It's all part of the adventure in the world of coin collecting. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1989 1-cent penny worth $68 million. From a simple minting error to one of the most valuable coins in the world, this penny is a true numismatic treasure. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing stories about rare coins and hidden treasures. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more incredible stories from the world of coins.